Hey YouTube, it's Shrinking Silly here, and it is Friday, just 3 days after surgery, and I'm feeling really good actually. The experience has been probably a lot less than I thought it was, to be honest with you. I really expected a whole lot more pain, but things went very, very well, and recovery is coming along. I will say that in the last couple days, what I've noticed is that I certainly cannot go all day. I get up in the morning, and then normally I can go for maybe 5 or 6 hours, and then I need to take a nap. And I pretty much have gotten it down to a science where I can take a nap in the afternoon, and then go to bed at a decent hour. I'm up pretty early because I don't sleep, more than like 4 or 5 hours. And then I force myself back to sleep for another 3 or 4 to try to get a good night's sleep. So it's not that I'm in pain, it's just that I'm not having the best night's sleep, that's all. I am having to sleep in a recliner because sleeping flat is not something that I can do. So that's one thing. Those of you who are pre-op, you may want to invest in a recliner, which someone had told me prior, so I had a used recliner that I just was ready to throw out and didn't. That's been a savior. I've actually slept in that in the last 2 nights, and I was more comfortable in that than I was in the hospital, to be honest with you. So, again, my surgery was on Tuesday. It was at just about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got into my room about 8 o'clock. And that first night was a little rough. But it wasn't as rough as I anticipated, I guess. So it was really okay. It was a whole lot of not sleeping, which made me very miserable. I had a lot of upper, like in here chest pain, which made it a little kind of hard to breathe. And the nurses thought that was gas. It actually wound up that my surgeon had done some surgery there because of my hiatal hernia. And he explained that it's going to be a little sore for a few days. So he thinks it'll probably go away in the next day or two. And so right now I do get a little bit of relief when I do take the pain medication for that. So that's good. But when the pain medication wears off, that tends to be a little terrible. Otherwise, my stomach is not in a whole lot of excruciating pain. Where they do the drain, that was pretty bad, and it was pretty bad until they removed the drain, and then I got a whole lot of relief. Removing the drain is not fun. I'm gonna tell you that up front. Yeah, I didn't. That was probably the one thing I really didn't like in the hospital, was them removing the drain. And but the incision sites and that sort of thing they're not very, very painful. That whole general area of my stomach can get a little crampy, a little bit of pain, especially if I laugh or cough, that sort of thing. But it's not excruciating. It does hurt to bend. I can't put on shoes yet. Had to have friends put on socks and shoes for me, that sort of thing. Necessarily can't pick it up very well. The only other pain that I'm having is back pain, and from what I've been told, that's really just because of laying on the OR table for so long. So that's pretty bad. And I'm doing a heating pad for that. When it comes to pain medication right now, I am taking very little during the day, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like I need it, but I do take a little more at night because it helps me rest. So, and then I take a little when I first get up in the morning because it kind of, I'm a little crampy from sleeping in the same position all night and that sort of thing, and it kind of helps me move around. For those of you who are dealing with any kind of fatigue or even pain for that matter, I highly suggest getting your protein in. Like some friends that are staying here to take care of me right now, they were telling me that I looked terrible this morning, which is kind of funny because I think but I felt terrible. I felt extremely exhausted. I was like I woke up thinking this was going to be a bad day because I really was tired. I was yawning a lot. I couldn't seem to get moving. And finally I just said, listen, I need to go out and walk around because I need to try to shake this off. So I did, and while I did that, I was drinking my Isopure, and that has a ton of protein in it. And once that's digested, that protein, I started picking up and feeling better. So drink your protein. I will say that the grape Isopure I really, really did not like. It was terrible. But I really can get down the red punch. I can actually drink it straight. And I was up to 110 grams of protein yesterday alone. I'm trying to fit in as much as I can. I'm still on clear liquids, so I'm not doing anything but some Crystal Light, some water, tea, and Isopure. And chicken broth, which I put the Undri protein in as well. So between the Isopure, I also use that ProStat 64 that I had gotten, and the unflavored protein powder, I get in 100 grams of protein a day. And well, yesterday was my first day at 100, and today it's halfway through the day, and I've already had my 50. So I'll get in the other 50 as the night goes on, and I'm supposed to get up to 100 eventually. That is my goal. That's what my doctor's goal is for me. So that's the thing. And I'm doing it kind of right out of the box. That's what I'm trying to burp a lot. The other thing that they ask you when you're in the hospital consistently is, have you passed gas? Because that hurts and there's a lot of bloating involved and that sort of thing. To be honest with you, I didn't feel it a whole lot. But once I did pass gas, I did feel a whole lot better. And that started yesterday. So, but I'm well. I'm fine. I'm out of the hospital. I actually was told I could go home. Like I said, I got back to my actual room at 8 o'clock in the evening. And I was told the next morning at 9 I could leave if I wanted to. I couldn't leave at 9. I needed to, pee on my own and do some other things before I could leave. But I could have left that afternoon per doctor's, instructions. I chose to stay another night for observation because I knew that I hadn't gotten a good night of rest, and coming home, I knew that I couldn't sleep in my bed, and I have 2 dogs when I come in the door, and they were going to be jumpy, and just the car ride after a day in the hospital and stuff, I knew it was going to be difficult. So I figured if I woke up the next morning after a good night of sleep, and went home first thing in the morning, that would be a better solution for me, because I would feel rested and have the day ahead of me, and that's what I did yesterday. So I've been home. Yesterday was my first day home, officially, and today's my first full day home. I am walking, sometimes short, little tiny, around the corner walks, and sometimes a little longer. I try to get out between 10 and 15 minutes, actually, is what it winds up being. It's a slow walk. It's nothing where I'm bringing up my heart rate or anything. But I walk a nice slow pace, And I've been very fortunate that the weather turned as soon as I came home. It's beautiful out. So you actually want to be out there. I actually spend my morning having my tea and that sort of thing on the porch, and it's just so pretty out there. So, and when you're not thinking about food, you can actually, look at all the birds and stuff. It's kind of nice. I'm not hungry at all. I will admit that, if someone told me today that you can have some yogurt, um, or something to that effect, I would be really happy because I would like to feel that kind of, I don't want to say fullness, but just like, oh, okay, that's where I'm supposed to stop eating feeling, and just kind of feel it go down, because right now I feel kind of like just a faucet, like it's in and out, because it's just all clear liquids right now. So I think that I actually could be on full liquids already. My nurse said that the doctor would probably send me home with those instructions, and the instructions actually just say follow your bariatric plan or whatever. So I have a call into the doctor's office today to find out when they want me to move on to the full liquid, and just some other generalized questions because we're going into the weekend. And waiting to hear back from them. It's actually 4:30 now, so I may not hear from them. And if I don't, I may wind up trying some yogurt or something like that towards the end of the weekend, just to have something of consistency in my mouth. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that I could start next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday or Wednesday, because that's been a week. It's usually about a week. My nurse in the hospital also told me that, if they told you that you could be on full liquids, to go ahead and wait the full week, because it's just better when you're healing. I did have a wonderful nurse, so I'm following her orders too. And I really think that's it. I tire very easily, so I did want to check in and let everyone know that I'm healthy and safe, and that I'm feeling okay. I probably will not check in for another week or so. I have a doctor's appointment on the 28th, my pre-op appointment. Not planning on weighing in till then, so I'll probably definitely, have an update then. But I'll probably, update here before then and then on Monday. That's it. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers and your thoughts. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll be in touch. Thank you.